Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Liz, and we are
Two Grateful Stitchers.
Thanks for joining us. I wanted to thank everyone for all the comments from my last video regarding my upcoming knee surgery. It's in about 2 weeks. I'm doing pretty good. I went off the anti-cancer drug. That was apparently what was causing the majority of the pain. So I'll be off that until after surgery. So oncology tells me the risks aren't too high by doing that, and it was worth it to not be in the kind of pain I was in last month. So I just wanted to say thank you for all of your kind words. It really meant a lot to me. So let's see, we usually open with Flosstubes that we've been watching.
Yes.
I'm going to watch a little Flosstube. Let's see, I watched Annie B's folk art, her most recent Flosstube, which was hilarious. I laughed through the whole thing. They're all adorable. I haven't actually started my Jane Austen sale, but I'll get there. So I was glad they weren't all like, here's ours, they're all done, because then I would have felt like, oh, I missed that boat. But so I'm really happy that I can still start mine. I've been watching sort of my backlog of Priscilla and Chelsea. I haven't watched them consistently like I used to in the beginning, so I kind of went back and caught up on their videos. And I like Jen's stitching niche. She said on Wednesday morning she checks Priscilla and Chelsea's Etsy store right away because they put a new pattern in every Wednesday morning. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to start doing that now. And the ones she showed were beautiful, so I'm probably gonna want to buy some of those. So and then the other one I watched was Loss and Floss, and we'll talk about that a little later on.
You might get a lot of Flosstube watching in when you're laid up from your surgery.
I'm hoping I get a lot of stitching and a lot of Flosstube watching, and yeah, that'll be ideal.
There you go. See, there is something positive besides getting a new knee.
Yeah, silver lining. Yeah, everybody I've talked to has said they didn't regret doing it. They wish they had done it sooner. So it was really just the Arimidex that was causing the extreme pain that I was in. So now I'm just in like regular knee pain, which I think, you know, my husband keeps saying, look at everything you've already survived. You're going to get through this. It's going to be fine.
Yep.
So.
Awesome. And you'll get some stitching in.
So yes. Yeah, absolutely. So, okay. So I can show you, I still have the same whips I had last time, but I can show you the progress I made. So let's see. I didn't take everything apart, but this is the, if you want to hold.
I will.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Look at the pattern out.
So this is Heart and Hand, Be Kind. This is a lot of fun to stitch on. This is on 32 count. I have it on.
Isn't that the Monaco? Is that the Monaco or no?
No, it's in here. I put the sticker on here because I knew I wouldn't remember.
Yeah, get that out.
Floss up. It is.
There we go.
This is 32 count Vintage Country Mocha Lugana.
Lugana.
That's what it is.
There you go.
And then I can grab the floss. And the colors for this are just gorgeous. And it's a lot of color changing. So that's the only thing that slowed me down a little bit on this one.
Well, because you got all the little critters on there. Yeah. And that's okay.
And they all have like 5 or 6 colors in each of those little tiny ones.
Yep.
But, yep.
That makes the picture though.
So it does. Yep. I love it. So that's that one.
Great job.
Thank you.
I like watching them. Come along. Oh.
Yeah, it's summer in Wisconsin, so we're always outside because we can't be outside the rest of the year. Well, lots of people in Wisconsin love snow, and so they are outside all winter, and that's why people live here. I live here because I live here. It's not because of the snow.
I like the snow. I'm a snow lover.
That's good. Not me. I like summer. I really like summer, and I like 2 weeks of fall and like a week of winter before Christmas.
And then you're done.
I like summer. And you know, I don't want to be. I mean, I guess if I didn't have air conditioning, maybe I wouldn't like summer. I like being able to go out into the heat and come out of the heat. So yeah, that's me. The next one that I have is Winter Rose Manor. Oh shoot, I don't have that. All I have is my working copy, so I won't show that.
That's okay.
I can show you the floss. I'll take my floss off of there. I'll show you the floss though. This is, I think before I maybe just had a little bit of the green, so I've gotten a lot further on it. I really like this pattern. I like stitching on it. I am rotating, trying to do 2 threads on each one. I just started that, so I'm hoping that means I'll have more progress next time, but I figure the thing I like the most about Flosstube is how motivating it is. So I really appreciate the accountability of coming and showing you what I'm working on. So this one's gorgeous. The colors, Brenda Gervais, she just has a gift. The colors she picks are phenomenal.
It's beautiful.
So
beautiful, beautiful.
That, and then that, the floss.
That's okay.
And then this one, a friend had borrowed me this pattern, and it is With Needle and Thread by Blackbird Designs. And let me find the actual one I'm doing. The one I'm doing is called Let Heaven and Nature Sing. And it looks like this. And I have a little start on it, but I think I'm gonna have to switch fabric. So this is a 32 count, and I had done that other one on 32 count and I could see it. It's a darker fabric, so I don't know if that's why I can see it better. Even with my glasses, the magnifying glasses that Laura and I had shown from Craft Optics, I'm having a really hard time seeing this one, and I'm not sure if it's because this is a fairly light colored thread, this yellow gold, and then this fabric is really light, so I'm having a really hard time seeing it. So I don't know what to do. I bought this fabric. This is let me tell you what it is, a 32 count Heather Ada, and I think I might switch to this. I figured before I get too far into it, I might want to switch. Even though they're both light, I can see the holes in this so much better just because it's an Ada.
Isn't that funny how the same count fabrics can look so different, where the holes on some you can see really well and on others you can't?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, and I'm working really hard to not feel guilty about it. And there's lots of people who stitch on Ada, and it looks beautiful. And I just want to sit at the table with the cool kids and stitch in hand on linen, and I can't do it.
You gotta stitch on whatever makes you comfortable to stitch on, because it's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah.
And again, we go back to, are we all gonna be sitting next to each other, showing our same pictures and comparing?
Right.
You know, it's going to be in your home. It's going to be beautiful, and you're going to love doing it. And you have to love doing it, because then
I won't do it if I don't love doing it.
Right.
So that's the whole point. Yeah, that's what I've been telling myself, that I have to just let that go.
Yeah.
So,
there's joy in all of this stitching, and if you're not finding that, then
that's true. Joy in stitching, that's what we're going for. Absolutely. So this one is the Plum Street Sampler Liberty Lodge that I've been working on.
And that's coming along.
I love it. So much fun to stitch on. It's addicting. It reminds me, so when I first started stitching, I think I was 14, 16, something like that, when I learned how to stitch. And I couldn't wait to get home from school. I'd rush home from school so I could pick up my needle and start stitching. I just loved it so much. This reminds me of that. Like, it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like, oh, I got to make sure I include that in my rotation. It's not like that at all. I just want to stitch on it all the time. And that's why I do this. That's why all of us do this.
That's the joy.
So that's the joy in stitching.
Yes.
And I figure if I need to change fabric on a different project to make it feel like that, then that's what I want to do, because I want to feel like that about all of my stitching. So, and I really do like, someone had said, I can't remember what video I was watching, and they said Plum Street Samplers is addictive. Like, the stitching you do in that, it's just addictive. And I don't know how she does it, but I would agree.
All of them. All of them.
Yeah, her patterns are amazing. So yeah, I feel like this fabric is perfect. The color, I feel like, is just perfect. So I can't wait to finish this. And I like, too, that it's something I can watch Flosstube while I'm doing all the fill-in. And I know people talk about that all the time, if there is someone who likes to do the little motifs, or if they like to do the fill-in. Apparently I'm somebody who likes to do the fill-in, because it's just so relaxing and sort of meditative almost, that you could just keep stitching and love it. Love it, love it, love it. So those are all of my whips.
I don't have any whips since the last video that we made. I haven't been able to do a whole lot of stitching, and I'll talk to you guys briefly about this, because I'm sure that there are others of you out there who experience the same thing. I have pain, and it's pretty constant, in my left shoulder. And believe it or not, it's from holding Q-snaps, it's from holding hoops, it's from constantly looking down. And this arm doesn't get motion. I'm using this arm to do all of my stitching with. So this kind of freezes up. And muscle has memory, so it remembers that, and then I experience pain. And so I've been seeing a physical therapist, and of course they're giving me exercises, and a chiropractor as well, and their answer to everything is move, 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 move.
Oh good, they're not saying don't stitch.
Nope, they want me to stitch. They said I should not have to give up what I love to do.
Good.
And this isn't something serious. I'm not lifting weights. I'm not hurting myself that way. I'm hurting myself in a way where I'm sitting and stitching for such long periods of time that it freezes up and I'm not using it. And then I start to shrink inwards, like people who sit at their computers all day long. You do the same thing when you're not stitching. Yep. So it's important to have a good chair to sit in. Yep, we all love our comfy chairs, but you can't be comfy for extended periods of time without getting up and moving.
It breaks. That makes sense.
It's really, really important to get up and take a break and stretch and bring your shoulders down and pull your shoulders back and take time to do that. If you have an exercise ball, lay on your exercise ball and just let your arms fall to the ground. Anything you can to open up that area so that you don't experience what I'm going through right now. So that's why I haven't been getting any stitching done. I'm trying to heal, get this all in working order. It's coming. I think I got about, I'm going to say maybe 60 stitches in about 2 or 3 days ago. And I felt really good about that. Good. So we've got progress going on.
I think it's Sherry in Colorado Cross Stitch. I think that's her channel. In the very beginning of her Flosstube, she talks a lot about hand exercises. And I think it's similar. Like my shoulders I struggle with for other reasons, but my hands, same thing. I have to do stretches and I have to take breaks. And part of that's just getting older, but part of it is the hobby that we're so... doing something repetitive.
Correct.
Anytime you do something repetitive, I think. Yeah. So good reminder. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yep. So that's why I don't have any whips.
That's okay. I have a little bit of haul to show.
I only have one haul. So I'll show my one haul and then we'll go to her fun stuff because she's got a bunch. It's a little hard again to go out and purchase haul when you're feeling, I don't know what the word is.
Worried, maybe.
It's like, I'm not ever going to be able to stitch that, and I'm not going to buy it. So, I don't know. But, and this is a big one, so I don't even know when I'm going to get to it.
Everybody's buying this one. It's beautiful.
It is
Plum Street again, so it'll be nice and addictive.
And I'm sure many of you are already familiar. Sorry for the noise getting out of the plastic, but this one is called Live on Little. And it says Live on Little, but it's big. There's a lot of stitches.
What's the stitch count? It's huge, isn't it?
This is on 36 count hog bristle using 1 strand over 2. But the stitch count is 307 by 207.
That's a big one.
And that's a big one. And it's a lot of stitching. So this isn't something I'm going to tackle right now. I need to get my shoulder better first. And when that happens, then I'll start picking out my fabric and I'll start gathering all my floss. There are a lot of DMC floss colors in here. As a matter of fact, look at that.
Oh, it's mostly DMC, yeah.
Almost all of it is DMC, which is really nice because there's a lot of floss that's getting used in this. So economically, this is a really good pattern too. And I can't wait to start it, but it's going to be a while. But I thought I'd share because it made me happy and I really
Haul is haul.
That's right, haul is haul.
Very nice. Okay, let's see. I had a little pile.
You do, right over there?
I do have it. It's over here. Okay, I went a little nuts.
She did go a little nuts.
So I bought this one, and this is called Liberty House, and it is by Brenda Gervais. And I just love the color she picks out. I saw quite a few people doing this. I think Farm Girl Michelle Rudy was one of them. So hopefully you can see that really well. And then a couple of these, that one and this one, I think were around 4th of July that I bought these. So this one's called Patriotic Rose by Threadwork Primitives. And I saw a lot of folks doing this up in a pillow like this, and I just loved it.
That's beautiful.
So I had to get that one. And then Teresa
Kitten
Stitcher. I was trying to think of her last name. Vanette. Teresa Vanette from Kitten Stitcher. She does not a club where if you don't want to join a club, every, I don't know, few months she does this where she puts something together with a designer and then sells a certain number of them. So I think she had 1,000 of them, and I think she opened it up at noon on a Wednesday, and my invoice was like 12:01 on Wednesday. So I got this.
She's addicted.
Yeah, this is by The Primitive Hair, and it's called Home is Where My Stitching Is. And it's a kit, and it came with fabric, and it comes with 30 count linen, fairy gray, and then the floss is mostly DMC, a couple of weeks dye works, but it came with the floss and the fabric. So I just love how that white pops on the gray. I'm so excited about that. So 30 count, we'll see how I do. I might have to have Laura dye me some Ada.
There you go.
We'll see. And then a lot of people have these, and I know that I'm late to the party, but I bought the Schoolhouse And so I got lesson 1, and I think...
Oh, the summer schoolhouse. Schoolhouse.
Yeah, and
okay.
It's Brenda Gervais. Or With a Needle and Thread, I think it's called. And there's, so on the back of them, it shows how they finish them in that little tray. Well, this one does.
Oh, yeah. And this one's in jars.
Yeah.
Really cute.
So I probably, because this one's the 4th one, it shows them all together. And I don't know if the strawberry is in the pattern, but I should try that. I haven't made a strawberry yet, so... I love Brenda Gervais. She's one of my favorites. So.
I never even thought about putting something in a jar.
I know,
that's a
so
really cute idea.
Yeah.
And then she just threw in a little scissors and an empty spool of thread and an old tape measure.
Love it.
A really cute way of decorating.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
I like
those. I don't know. I know. I think people are doing them on 40 count or over 1 on 25. I have Strawberry Fields Forever that I want to do on 25 count, 1 over 1. I've never done 1 over 1, so, but it looks, I really like the cool stuff, the tiny stuff. I think it looks cool, but I don't know how to get there without doing a really, really high count, unless I do 1 over 1. So I'm going to give it a shot and see how it turns out. So
that's beautiful.
I got this one. This is called From the Heart, Needle Art by Wendy. I think you had a pattern from her once. It's called Token of Love, and it's like an anniversary sampler, and I saw it done. You know, I got this in the mail, and I was like, I don't remember buying this. And then I remembered, oh, I saw a picture of it done up in a certain way, so then I have to go find that picture, so I know what it was, and I loved so much about it.
Yeah, it's really
and if I find it, I'll put it together and show you, but I just remember that it wasn't just I saw the pattern, I saw someone had done it up and it must have been framed a certain way or something that I liked, so.
It's gorgeous.
It is really pretty.
Really
the colors look really pretty too. So it's an anniversary sampler. You can, you know, I mean, you could probably do it as a wedding sampler too and just do it up however you want with personalization, so.
Very, very pretty.
So yeah, and then I think I just have one more.
Okay.
So if I can go quickly here and. So I got more Brenda Gervais because I just love her.
There you go.
Okay, I don't have anything, I didn't buy the fabric or the floss or anything for it, but I bought this. It's called Noel Sampler by Brenda Gervais. And I have a couple of Brenda Gervais going, so I'd like to finish at least one of those first. That's one in the rotation. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I just love it. I think it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I went through all my, I didn't go through my patterns yet. So far I've gone through my kitted up and my works in progress, my whips. And I think I mentioned this, I have more than 50. So I'm going to try to start, you know, just working my way through with this rotation that I'm doing, try to kind of whittle them down a little bit. And then as I finish something, I can start something else. I just don't want to keep kitting them up and
starting, and then you've got a couple stitches and
then I feel overwhelmed, and so I don't want to do that. I did just organize, if you follow us on Instagram, I think I put it on there. I organized all my DMC the way that Sweetwater Stitching, I think her name is Jessica, that way she did hers with these bins from Target. I can add some pictures about that in the video. And then I hung up, Laura inspired me with her cabinet. My husband hung up a piece of pegboard in our closet, and then I put all my floss in there. Not all of it. All of it that's not already kitted up. And so I'm like, why does that look so sparse? Oh, because all the floss I own is in bags, all kitted up, ready to go. So I'm like, okay, that's why. So, and then I found more and added that. So, and I'm just on an organizational kick. So.
And are you going to share all your organization in a video?
Yeah, I can add it to this video. Okay. I think I have little snippets of video that I either put on Instagram or at least I recorded them so I can add them to this video.
Because I think people would really like to see that.
It's so much fun.
It's
nice. Addictive to like label everything and get it all. I just love doing it. So yeah, that's my haul. And then for plans, Grateful Stitcher, her name is Roseanne. She lives here in Wisconsin. Turns out there's a bunch of us in Wisconsin. She had reached out and told me that Lost in Floss, so Barb had, on her most recent Lost in Floss video, had asked people to promote the hashtag Leanne's Legacy. And it's to do in memory of her friend Leanne, whose birthday is August 24th. So on August 24th, she's asking folks to just do any new start that makes your heart happy. And if you post it on social media, to use the hashtag Leanne's Legacy. And I'll put that information in the description box. And Laura and I are both going to do Mighty Acorn, Winds of Autumn by Blackbird Design. And I bought the book. Laura doesn't have the book yet, but we both have fabric. We both have floss. So let me get all that out. So it's this book from Blackbird Design. I think I showed this in our last video. It was haul for me. And then
it's got a lot of lovely patterns. I had to get the book myself
yeah.
as well. Every pattern in this book is wonderful.
And then we're gonna do. Whoops, I'll show you that. We're gonna do this pattern, Mighty Acorn, and I know lots of folks have done it. And I am doing it on. This is. I just told you what it was. No, I forgot.
Was that Legacy?
It is Ada, and it is, oh, here it is. It is 18 count Heather Ada fabric. This is what I got.
Okay.
I'll be doing mine on this. So I'll put some, I can put them up by each other, and you can see what they're going to look like. So these are my colors on this, and then you have your colors.
And mine is 36 count Hazelwood by Fiber on a Whim. So they're both a little different in color.
Yeah.
Fabric, floss is obviously the same for the pattern.
Yeah, we both did do the called floor floss.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see as we work on it how they both end up looking, because the fabric behind is so different.
Yeah.
I think they're both going to turn out.
I think so too. Yeah.
Just wonderful.
Love, love, love the colors. They're just gorgeous. Okay, and then.
We have the giveaway, right? The winner?
Two more plans I was going to show.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, she does. And they're beautiful.
That's right. I don't know if you call it haul or plans, or I mean, it's all kitted up, so I figure it's a plan because I'm going to start it. So, okay, so this one is.
So now she'll be up to 52.
or 58, something like that. So I didn't even have it all. I didn't even put it on that little round thing I usually put it on. So there's a bunch of floss. So this, and I don't think I've shown this, it's Rejoice Evermore by Brenda Gervais. I saw this done on a bunch of different posts on Instagram and maybe even a couple Flosstubers, but it is so pretty. I just love her. I love her colors. I just think she's such an amazing designer. And I have 20 count aged paper Ada from Color and Cotton that I'll be doing it on, which I think is pretty similar. So
there you go.
See it in the bag. I can maybe. I think it's probably fine.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful.
The color. So all of this goes on here.
And then you've got this one.
And one more. Okay, this was, I want to say, I don't know about this. I first started it. Oh, I did start. Oh, I did show this already. I've shown this one. Okay.
Yeah, but you haven't been quite this far.
Oh, okay. So this actually should go in whipped, really. But this is Plum Street Samplers, God Shed His Grace on Thee, or Grace on Me is the name of the actual pattern. So I made a little bit of progress on this, and I actually forgot and thought it was a different one, so sorry. Because I did just get another one. Oh, no, I'm going to forget the name of it. I'll get it out for the next video, but it was another Plum Street, so. Oh, yeah. Love, love, love those.
Good job.
Okay, and now we can move on to the giveaway. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay, we have a giveaway from last month's video. So this is By the Bay Needle Art. I am a needlesmith. And the winner of this is Arlene Curry. Arlene, if you could email us, our email address is in the description box below, and we'll get this in the mail to you. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
We do have a giveaway for this video, and I'll give you my usual spiel for giveaways. You don't want to use the word giveaway. This isn't affiliated with YouTube in any way. We'd like you to like the video and be a subscriber. You have to be 18 or older to participate. And Laura has a pattern that we're going to give away called Just Sayin', set number 1 by Abby Rose Designs. And we'd like you to tell us who your favorite designer is. If you would say my favorite designer is, and that way I can search the word designer.
Yeah, we spoke a lot too today about Brenda Gervais and Plum Street Samplers. Those are two of our favorite designers. Yep. So we figured
among many.
Yes, there are a lot.
Lots
I can't even mention all of them. But yeah, we're curious to see who some of your favorite designers are. So if you use the word designer, that's what we'll use for the drawing.
Great.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, this was great. And we will add to this video some organizational stuff. And then I'm going to record Laura dyeing some fabric and some ribbon and some chenille. And so we'll add that to the video too. So we're very grateful you're here. And
thanks for watching. Okay, here we are doing the second part of our video for this week. Today I'm going to show you how I dye fabric at home. I also have some rayon seam binding, and I have a little bit of chenille yarn that I purchased at Joann Fabrics. So what we're starting with right now is a piece of 18 count ivory Aida. And I got this good and wet. All I did was run it under some cold water. Got it nice and wet. You want to have your fabric wet before you start. And I'm going to put that into my container here. And you can use, I'm using a little foil pan like you would get at a grocery store. Similar to what you would do a turkey in at Thanksgiving, a roasting pan of some sort. If you have glass corning at home or a pan you could pick up at a Goodwill somewhere, you can use that as well. Just remember that once you use that for dyeing, you should really just keep that for dyeing and not use it again for any kind of food prep. So now what I'm doing here is I am just squishing this fabric up just any old way into this pan. And you can see it's making a lot of little crevices, bumps, wrinkles, and that's what you want it to look like, just like that. So now that that's done, I'm going to set that aside. And what I've done is I've prepared some water. This little glass here is going to be the one that I'm going to use for the ribbon. This is the one I'm going to use to dye the fabric with. This is filled with hot water, not quite boiling, but pretty darn hot. And I don't measure anything, I just kind of wing it, so that's what I'm doing for you today. The color that I'm using is caramel, and it is a RIT dye. When you use your RIT dyes, make sure you shake them up really, really well. And I start out light. I don't go real heavy because once the dye is in there, it's hard to get it out. But you can always add a little bit more color. It's a good thing I brought a towel there. So I just added that. Give it a good stir. And the next thing I'm going to add is salt. Salt is a mordant. And what a mordant is it's something that allows the fabric to absorb the dye. Salt works really well with cotton, and with wool or nylon you would want to use vinegar. So what happens then is it absorbs it better, and when you go to rinse, when you're done dyeing your fabric, it doesn't rinse all out, it stays. And I don't measure, kind of just dump it in. You want it to dissolve. Give it a stir. And then you're ready to go. So Liz, if you want to come forward here, you can kind of show them what I do. And all I'm doing is drizzling this dye over the different areas of this fabric. This is not going to get baked in an oven. You're going to be amazed at how quickly this takes effect. And a lot of that has to do, of course, again, with the temperature of the dye, the water, and the salt that I poured in. And just keep going.
Do you use all of it?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm just going to play it by ear here, because again, you can re-squish it and put it right back in. And right now what I'm doing it like this to try to get a mottled look. If you want to color it a solid piece, you would already have some water in the pan, and then add your dye, and then submerge the fabric all the way completely to get a solid hunk versus the mottled. And maybe that's going to be it for right now. We'll go with this. 'Cause again, like I said, I'd rather go light, and if it's not mottled enough, I can go back and add more. So now that I've got that in there, I'm just going to kind of give it a little press. And we're done. You don't need to sit and let it wait for 30 minutes or anything like that. You can see there's a little bit of liquid still in the pan, but it's fairly light because most of the dye has been absorbed by the fabric. All right, so now I'm going to rinse. And I'm using cool water. We're just giving it a good rinse. Now something to keep in mind too, if it's not dark enough for you, let your fabric dry first. The fabric, while it's wet, is always going to be darker than when it's dry. So if you get it done and you're like, oh, it's not quite as dark, I really wanted more, throw it in the dryer. I typically don't throw my fabric in the dryer. I hang it over a rack and I let it air dry. But you can throw it in the dryer if you like. And now we'll unfold this.
Oh, I love it.
Can you see how that came out?
It looks amazing.
And that's it. You saw the length of the video? This is how long it takes.
6 minutes total. Wow.
Yep. So now if this is pleasing to you, you are done. Something that I've done after I've gotten this far and it's dry, it's like, you know what? I want to add a little bit of gray. There you go. Pull out your charcoal gray. Mix it up just like I did.
In fresh hot water?
Use a new container, fresh hot water. Scrunch it up again in the pan, just like you saw me do with this. And throw on your little drops of gray in random areas. The effect is amazing. And it's so much fun. It is so much fun. Especially nowadays too, when it's a little hard to try to find fabric because everybody's buying it and we all are addicted. You've got that Aida out there, there's linen out there. Play with it, play with the colors. You can't go wrong. Again, if you start light and then go dark, you'll be safe. So that's it on the fabric. I'll just throw a bit of that dye away. And now I'm gonna move on to the ribbon. Again, I have a little bit of hot water. You don't need quite as much. And I'm gonna go with the dark brown. And the reason is, these are all ribbons that I've already dyed. And it is just white seam binding. I got it from Amazon. I think it's 100 yards on this spool. And I typically like to dye in 2 yard lengths. So these are the colors I have right now. And I need a dark brown for a pillow that I'm doing for a project. So again, make sure you shake it up really, really well. That one's going to get a little bit more. I am going to use salt on this, even though this is rayon. I didn't bring any vinegar with me, but the salt will still work. And again, I keep these jars. They're the ones I use constantly for all of my dyeing. Same thing with my spoon. I don't throw it back into my cabinets. Just keep it set aside. And again, this is going to go pretty darn quick. There we go. So now, while that is sitting, I still have a little bit of the camel that I used on the Aida. I am going to add a little bit of charcoal gray. Let's see what happens with this color. That's another fun thing. You just kind of, you never know what you're going to get. I use towels. Obviously, you can see the red dye dribbles a little. Let's see what the mix of those two colors is going to look like. All right. Chenille. Shamazel. Awesome Pepper Incorporated. Some of you might not get that, but those of you from Wisconsin that used to watch Laverne and Shirley might get a kick out of that. Maybe not.
I always thought it was Hassenpfeffer Incorporated.
Me too.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
If you guys know, put it out there. Now this takes a little bit more liquid because it's chenille to absorb, but it is absorbing. All right, so I'm gonna let that sit, and now we're gonna pull out the ribbon. I gotta do this over the sink here. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And now you rinse it in cold water?
Okay. I'm gonna rinse it again. There we go. Let's rinse it. Now, some people like to have their ribbon already crinkly for ruching, and you can buy it already crinkled. And if that's the way you'd like it, then let it dry just like this, and it will remain crinkled.
Oh, nice.
I let it dry like this, but then of course I iron it to get it nice and smooth. Guys, re-crinkle it again. But depending on the project that you're doing, you might want to crinkle, you might want to iron it. But the brown turned out perfect, and that is going to be awesome with the autumn pillow that I want to make.
I can't wait to see it.
I know. It's so much fun. It's economical. Each one of these, you go to Hobby Lobby, it's a little over $2 a bottle. You have it forever. There's a lot in there. You'll never use all of it up. All right. Now we're going to pull the chenille out and do the same thing. I'm going to rinse. Oh, it turned out like a great green.
Oh, I like it.
Isn't that wild? And that was mixing camel and charcoal. And it's lightening up. Oh, okay.
It's almost like a mint green.
Mm-hmm. You never know. And it's because of the fibers. I love it. I love it. And you can just play. And I think I bought that skein of chenille yarn, like you said, at Joann Fabrics. It was on sale. I paid less than $4 for it. It was white. And now look what I've got. And that was charcoal and camel mixed together.
Wow.
It's fun. It's just fun. And that's why I wanted to share with you. Get out there and have some fun. Dye some fabric. Dye some ribbon. Dye some yarn. Enjoy.
Here's a quick video showing how I organized my threads this weekend. My husband put up this pegboard for me. So I used Laura's inspiration, and I separated the Classic Colorworks from the Gentle Arts, and then the Weeks Dye Works on the bottom. And then Sweetwater Stitcher inspired me to pick up these organizational bins at Target, and I organized all my floss according to the numbers in this DMC book. And then I made space in my closet for my cross-stitch cart that has a lot of patterns and needle minders on it, and I can roll it around wherever I need to.